Did you know that George Washington said the following? If we would agree to take the fezzes and the turbans off the Moors' heads and remove the sandals from their feet and enforce it with severe punishment, and to also swear a death oath between ourselves to religiously and faithfully not to allow anyone to teach the Moorish children who they really were or who their forefathers were, to only allow the Moorish children to be taught that they are truly Negroes, black people, and color folks. 200 years from today, the Moorish people would not know their nationality nor the national name of their forefathers. Also, they would not know from which land or ancestors that they are descended from. This quote came from the minutes of the First Continental Congress, aka the Oddfellows Convention. You see, the truth of the matter is that hundreds of years before Europeans set sail, there were black people, Moorish people, who made the journey and set up towns. They were already here.
So I'm saying no matter how much a person may live in a place doesn't necessarily mean that they know about the place from which they reside.
Did you know?
The first nation to recognize my country.
A lot of the founding of America was based on Moorish science. If you see paintings of the inauguration of George Washington, it looked like a Masonic ritual. So again, Masonry is based on Moorish science. So they would have these Moorish advisors around them. If you look at old paintings of George Washington, you will see George Washington standing next to a black man with a turban. And remember, when you see the black man with the turban, that's a Moor. That's not a slave. See, people automatically assume that black is slave, but slaves didn't wear no turbans. Because remember, slaves weren't allowed to practice no Islam or any other kind of religion except Christianity. So when you see that turban, that's a black man. And there's a few pictures of George Washington and other people with Moors or black men with turbans standing next to him. When you see that, just know that those are Moors. A lot of the
free Moorish national let me go and they would be freed from bondage.
Moorish Americans are indigenous to America.
The problem with George Washington is not that he didn't recognize it, was that he didn't announce it. He didn't make it known. He obscured the fact even from his own slaves. He didn't tell them, you know, we made a deal with the Moroccans and you can go if you're a Moorish national. And so this is George Washington chopping down the cherry tree. And this is a part of history that we're not allowed to know. And Noble Drew Ali was here to teach people this.
Moorish Americans are indigenous to America.
The story of George Washington and the chopping down of the cherry tree. The Moroccan flag was the red flag, the red standard. It was called the cherry tree because it was red. Originally it was pure red. They later put a green saber on it or a green pentagram on it to distinguish it from maritime red flags. But it was originally red and it was called the cherry tree.
Now it is a great Masonic secret that has long been revealed that it was George Washington who chopped down the cherry tree of the Moors, erasing them from the history books and removing their nationality, fez and turbans. It was even predicted that in a few hundred years many of them would not remember who they were or their connection to the land.
So George Washington chopping down the cherry tree referred to the fact that the first treaty with the United States of America was with Morocco, and part of that arrangement between their diplomacies was that Morocco had sued America during the Revolutionary War because they were enslaving their people. The Sultan was so they sued America, and America did not respond. So Morocco started taking hostage, American ships hostage, And this resulted in a diplomatic squabble, which eventually was settled with the first peace treaty of the United States of America.
The first nation to recognize my country was Morocco. In signing the treaty,
it was Morocco who supported and gave rise to the independence of the United States of America as it has been recognized by President Obama.
The first nation to recognize my country was Morocco.
And so this is George Washington chopping down the cherry tree.
Does wearing hats cause...
This is about to blow your mind. George Washington, chairman of the Continental Congress of 1774, is documented saying, if we would agree to take the fezzes and turbans off the Moors' heads.
President before George Washington 1730 to 1799 AD. John Hanson was the first black president, and John Hanson was a Moor, aka black, and John Hanson is located on the back of the $2 bill. President before George Washington 1730 to 1799 AD. John Hanson was the first black president, and
George Washington was not the first president. He was the 9th president. There was 8 niggas that was presidents before him. So how do we have all that? Nobody knows it. You cannot become a general in America without a president signing off on you. How could he be a general and be the first president?
Now listen, why is this important? Because once you start knowing who you are, Page 3, you got a picture here. Show it to him. Page 3. First president of the United States. Black. Hold up so I can see you. That's John Hanson. Now read what it says.
Given to okay. Bronze by Richard Brooks. Given in 1903, located in the Senate enacting corridor.
In the Senate building. This nigga's picture is there, but they don't say why. They don't say he's the first president of the United States. And all of them was Moors, and their symbol was what? Come on. Here, well, the cherry tree. So the code is George Washington chopped the cherry tree down. That's when they switch the signals.
Do you know that there were indigenous black people in the Americas and they were Moors?
As a matter of fact, I did, my guy. And in regard